Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you. For some reason, I lost my feed with you.
Oh,
I can hear
really?
you, but I can't see you. Yeah, Zoom wants me to launch the meeting again. Very strange.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
here it
while
is.
you're doing that, shall I introduce you a bit?
I'm back.
Oh,
I
great.
just went to check my notes and everything went dark. So,
Oh, okay.
sure.
Lovely. I'm
Grateful
just
to be here. Hey, everybody.
Jeff Cloud. He's in Thailand. So I'm just going to do this brief introduction of what we're talking about today, because I just love the posts that Jeff puts on Facebook. They're also, or they seem so relevant, certainly in line with how I feel. So waking up in the dream with Jeff Cloud, from questioning the system as a kid to becoming a global transformational guide, Jeff Cloud helps people break free from the limiting beliefs, heal childhood wounds, and manifest from an unlimited mindset. He's the author of Waking Up in the Dream and the creator of a powerful 30-day transformation experience that has changed the lives, many lives around the world. Are you ready to wake up to your highest potential? And as I said to Jeff, when I've just for the first time met him in person of a type, that I had real trouble trying to write waking up from in the dream, because I kept wanting to put waking up from the dream, because we hear that we're in a dream and that we're waking up from the dream, but you're saying waking up in the dream, so it's very relevant.
Well, one of my teachers told me that we're dreaming all the time.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to me. One of the things that's interesting that I play with, keyword play, is are we really awake right now? Or are we awake when we go to sleep? And is it reversed? See, I've learned to look at things from many different perspectives, because when I figured out that none of my beliefs were my own, that's when the light bulb went off. And I went, oh my God, everybody has this tiny little belief system that all came from sources outside themselves, their mother, their father, their grandparents, whoever they grew up with, the school system, in my case, religion. I was placed in private Catholic schools at 7 years young, where every day was Judgment Day. And the nuns were very angry and pissed off. And I was like, something's really wrong here. They're talking about love, but then when you die, you go to Judgment Day to see if you're good enough to get into heaven. And so when I learned that none of my beliefs were my own, I saw how everybody would become what I call in the book an automatic reactor to anything that either challenges their beliefs or triggers or touches on and activates an unhealed childhood wound or trauma. So I created this very simple system with actually a tracking sheet that comes with the book that guides people through the process. It's so simple. Even young teenagers go through it with their parents, and they actually can go through it a little quicker because they have less decades of programming and beliefs that they've been holding on to. So it's been very successful. It's completely changed my life. And what else would you like to know?
Oh, can you go to the part then where you realized who told you that none of your thoughts are your own, and for you to realize that that is the truth? None of the thoughts yeah.
Well, I'm currently in Thailand, where I've been living for 8 years, and I love it here, but I was living in San Diego, California. And I had been a recording engineer, which I still am today, although not really professionally. But in California, I was a recording engineer for about 30 years. And I lived in my recording studios so I didn't have to pay rent on a separate building. So that's how I built up all my gear year after year, and my guitars and my microphones and my amps and my mixing boards and everything. And back in the day, you know, it used to be kind of normal to go to concerts and drink beer and smoke pot, and occasionally we'd do mushrooms. And that became for me, what I ended up seeing was it was a way to relax, but also to kill pain. And so I started purchasing books on manifestation, and I never really had a lot of money, although I always seemed to get by because that was my story. I always seemed to get by. So that's what I created for myself.
Yeah.
Um, I studied a lot of books from New York Times bestsellers and, Think and Grow Rich and the Power of One and Wallace Wattles and all these books. And I would read them and my mind would go, yeah, that's really good. That's really good. But none of them taught me how to go in and identify, and more importantly, reprogram my subconscious. Because I did EFT tapping, money comes to me easily and effortlessly. I did positive affirmations up the wazoo. I went to 2.5 to 3 day seminars in San Diego, Las Vegas, Sedona, and you'd get all pumped up, and on day 3 everybody's pumped up, and then they sell all their products, and then a week later I was like right back to where I was. And I'm not saying I didn't get anything out of it. However, nobody taught me how to go in and identify the subconscious limiting beliefs and my wounds.
Yes.
And so I created this process where you have to actually keep track of, for me, it started out as judgments, because I was taught to be a judgeaholic in Catholic school. Every day was Judgment Day. And I thought that's how we fixed everything on the planet, by pointing out everything that was wrong. Well, if you're going to take action and stand up for things like the children that are being trafficked or worse, and chemtrails and people poisoning our food, yes. However, what I became was an automatic reactor, and I became a judgeaholic. And so when you realize that you are a walking, talking, vibrating magnet, and whatever frequencies you are holding within, which are created by either your wounds or your belief system, then you're going to start attracting more of that which you have not cleared and looked at. So what I did was I created a process with this tracking sheet where you want to heal and move into higher timelines, 5D, 12D, whatever, and really open up your pineal gland and understand that you are 100% unlimited. You were always perfect. Even though we're taught to be that we're all messed up, we got all these problems. Well, we chose to come down here and be here at this specific time. There's no way that an unlimited divine being that doesn't have any disease, doesn't have to pay for anything, doesn't even need food or water, doesn't age, no aging, nothing, would come down here at this time where everything's inverted, have to agree to forget every single thing that we knew, and go, you are here to help during the greatest shift, one of them maybe in all of history, or certainly one of them. Are you willing to do that? And since you know that you're unlimited, and sooner or later, if it's in this lifetime or maybe a few more incarnations, and there's no such thing as time, or is there, that they're going to make it. So you choose the craziest, most inverted roller coaster ride where everything's inverted, everything's twisted. They know how to mind control. They're poisoning this, that, and the other from the moment you come out of the birth canal. Man, I was grabbed with big metal clamps around my head and then pulled out of the womb. Welcome to the planet. And then, because my mom was Catholic, within an hour or two, I went through the most traumatic thing, one of them that a man will ever go through. They intentionally circumcised the end of my penis because they know, and it's proven, that the brain, it's so traumatic that the brain shrinks and it never goes back to its original size. Amazing. Amazing. They know what they're doing, and all this stuff is perfectly planned and created. And then they create a school system where they don't teach you how to think. They teach you what to think.
Okay.
So it's not all doom and gloom. What I'm doing is I'm showing the programming, and there is a really fast way to begin to identify and clear them. Because the majority of people, they really don't desire to look at their wounds. They're so busy just trying to survive and earn a living and be on a planet where you were never supposed to have to pay to live on a planet. And it's coming. There is so much great stuff being revealed right now. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
There's going to be money paid back from the birth certificate in capital letters, where we've been sold on the stock market our entire lives. And, so with that said, and as I reveal my perspective from, I've been going down the rabbit hole for over 30 years. I do a lot of research, but I also, one of my mantras is that I teach, I know nothing. Because most people are defending and they're automatic reactors. I know some things about how to create my reality, frequency, vibration, imagination, words, and some spell words I'll share that almost everybody's using all day long, that you can eliminate in a matter of 1 to 2 to 3 days. That'll change your reality greatly, because most people are sending the wrong messages to their subconscious every day without even realizing it. That's why spelling was created. So anyway, we're waking up, and we're waking up faster than ever. And so this process that I created is a process where you begin to get real honest with yourself. And if you desire to heal and really understand how to create your preferred reality from a completely 100% unlimited mindset, once you begin to realize that you're creating your reality, money's not the issue. I never made a lot of money, but now I realize no matter how much I've made in the last 10 years, since I understood how to reprogram my reality, for the ego, it's never enough.
Yeah.
You could have $1 million in the bank, then you're worrying about how to protect it, or
Yes.
you need to make more. So there's nothing wrong with money. It's an energy and a frequency. However, when you realize that it's just an energy, you can manifest it when you desire, but you don't have to let it be that thing that you have to just keep going after. I see so many people working so hard.
And that's how we've been programmed, Jeff. To do that. That's what you do. You don't even question it.
Well, I'm here to say it's time to question it. Yes. And I have a better way if you're interested. And it's simple. All it requires is, are you willing to put yourself under a microscope? Because if you're not, and you're blaming everything out there, which is a direct mirror of what you're holding in here. Yeah. And I know as I say that, somebody's going to go, which is what I would have said 20 years ago. Well, I'm not raping children and I'm not poisoning. No, you're not. But you might have in a past life. Yeah. And this is what the collective is doing, because there's so many wounds after so many decades of incarnations and inversions and stuff. So we must be willing to look at it. And anytime we have a judgment, a less than thought, a fear-based thought, an automatic reaction, anything that's an automatic that doesn't come from love, joy, gratitude, kindness, compassion, or love, I call them lower vibrational triggers. And right now, people are more triggered and more projecting than I've ever seen in my life. And we hear about there could be a timeline split where the people that desire to really awaken and they're willing to go in and heal, they're going to raise their frequency. And the people that don't and aren't ready yet, they may split off into another timeline, and they'll just come back again and get another chance to do it. There's no harm, and we're not above or below anybody, but everybody's our mirror. So when we begin to take responsibility and we catch, like I had to begin to catch all my judgments. And so I created this incredible tool, which I didn't really create, but I created the way to use it. And it's this. It's a clicker that you might see somebody has at a carnival or something, counting the amount of people that go on the rides or walk into a movie theater. Okay. You can get this for $2 or $3 anywhere. So I'm the clicker guy. So you start to catch and track your judgments and your less than thoughts and your fears and your doubts and everything that doesn't come from love. And you make it a game. And I'll tell you what, then you fill out this sheet at night. It takes you 5 or 10 minutes. And you start to dismantle programs and automatics that have been running for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Some of my clients are 8 decades young. And they're amazing.
And do you still get triggered? Do you get triggered at times?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But I don't project it onto other people. I get triggered at, believe it or not, mosquitoes. I live in Thailand. They're brutal. In California, they're like this big and you can get them. In Thailand, they're so tiny. And when they bite you, you swell up and it itches for days. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of mosquitoes. And I'm not a big fan of people that are trying to poison us and intentionally kill us and harm the children. And things like a Google search engine, which I call Gaggle. You know, they've named their browser after adrenochrome, which they put it right in your face. It's what they do because they have to show you. But, you know, they invert a lot of things and you just have to go, okay, I chose to come down here and do this. And when I have a trigger, I go, okay, Mr. Waking Up in the Dream. And I go, I know, we're all running programs.
Yeah.
I don't claim to be above anybody at all.
I use Ho'oponopono, but what I wanted to ask you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. But is that, so I'll have a thought, I'll have a trigger, and straight away I'm saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Like it's running all the time, but you can bring it to the consciousness and be saying that. But when you're saying you've got to look at the shadow, with Ho'oponopono, like Dr. Hu Len says, you would not have to do that. You literally say, I'm sorry, please. But are you just burying everything still then by doing that?
What a wonderful question. I love your insights. And that's such a great question because I believe Ho'oponopono is a very powerful, beautiful mantra that's been used for possibly thousands of years. It's so heart-centered. And I flip-flop Ho'oponopono. I go, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And then I go, I'm sorry, I forgive myself. I love me, thank you. I flip-flop it so every angle is covered. However, it doesn't necessarily clear the automatic and replace it with a new subconscious belief or program. So this is where the inner healing is so key. You can be all love and light and change your name to Mary Sunshine, frickin' Arcturian or whatever, and tell me that you're talking to the Arcturians and the Palladians and you got your crystals and, you know, all good. But if you're not willing to do the inner work and healing, you can't fake your way into higher vibrational timelines if you're still not willing to look at your stuff. And the women, interestingly enough, most of my 8 out of 10 of my clients are women.
Yeah,
and I'm so blessed because they trust me. I mean, I have women that come on and do calls with me and, you know, they've been raped by their father and molested and their mother used to beat them and was an alcoholic and they're, you know, and you know, we have some tears, but they clear stuff very quickly because they figure out that whether they remember or not, because I don't remember choosing anything before I came here. I don't remember any past lives. And it's good because that would probably cloud me from, you know, I don't talk to any Arcturians. I've called out to them. I'm like, hey, if you guys want to come down, Saint Germain, I've always been a big fan of, you know, being into purple. It's my favorite color. But he hasn't come down to me. So what that does is that puts all the power into Jeff. There's really nobody, because I've worked with people that go, I have to ask my guides first before I can make a decision. And I'm like, oh, isn't that interesting? Which is a great mantra.
Absolutely.
To begin to dismantle the automatic judgments. If you can catch, when you make it a point to, you know, begin to catch your judgments, you'll start to actually feel them coming before they actually get there. It's a beautiful thing. And then when you memorize the mantra, and I would write this down, people, if you truly desire to change and you're resonating with anything I say, I would write it down, put it on your bathroom mirror, tattoo it on your forehead in reverse or whatever, put it so you see it, because you can go, oh, this guy might be making some sense. I don't know. He's kind of trippy, whatever you're thinking, but you must make these your new program. And the only way to do that is to catch the trigger when it happens and stop. I have people stop, take a breath, and this is all taught in the book. Super simple. Waking up in the dream. You could read this book in a day. Look at that. There's no big print, but the goal isn't to just read it in a day and go real good. The goal is get yourself a clicker and use this tracking sheet, and it tells you, did you consciously and intentionally create your reality first thing this morning while your head was still on the pillow? Most people don't. Most people wake up and they go, I hope it's going to be a good day. Hope is a spell word.
Yes.
And I'm going to go over that before we go.
And hope. And you can want and want and want.
Want, wish, hope, need, try, going to, should, hard, and difficult. Those are the 9 most common spell words to delete. Why? And I've got a free video on this on my YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening, same as my website. You can go watch it for free. They all give your subconscious the exact instruction that my desire is still not here yet.
Yes.
And the subconscious can only take a direct order. Your desire is either here now or it's not. So when you go to create your reality consciously every morning and you go, oh man, everything is magically showing up for me. I have everything I desire. The most incredible people show up in my reality. I'm surrounded by abundance. I work with all these incredible wild jungle and street dogs here in Thailand. They're so in their heart. There's magic everywhere here in Thailand. There's mangoes and bananas, and I got them growing in my yard. There's butterflies and dragonflies, and there's abundance everywhere. It's just that the biggest program on the planet is lack of money.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's shifting. But you must notice it in order to reprogram yourself. Otherwise, you'll just wish, hope, want, try, need, and you're never going to shift and give your subconscious the proper instructions. Super key. You've got to reprogram.
Does that form you keep showing, is that with the book?
The book, it comes with the book. It's a PDF file. It also comes with my online course, which has over 3 hours of PowerPoint trainings, which is in images, words, and my voice. And it shows you why the ego does what it does, why it defends, and I have everybody that goes through my course name their ego. My ego's name is Larry. Larry was the fear-based. He was the judgeaholic. He was the one in lack. He had shame. He had guilt from the Catholic Church. You're going to hell if you ever masturbate. And you show me one teenager that never masturbated, and they make it so it's evil, but yet the cabal sells their Playboys and magazines behind the counter, and there's all the temptation, and all the priests at the Vatican are sacrificing children, and pedophile is at the highest levels of all government. And anybody that thinks I'm crazy, you're about to get a big wake-up call, because pedophilia it's how they've controlled everybody for thousands of years, and now it's time. And I stand up for the children and the women like there's no tomorrow. Because I grew up in the Catholic Church, I was an altar boy until 9th grade.
Yes.
And luckily nothing ever happened to me. I had a guy in the church try a couple things on me, but I knew better. And he eventually got exposed, but it wasn't until like 20 years later. But you can look up the Vatican. They've got a room down below where they're all wearing their red shoes, which are made from children's skin. And people don't want to talk about this. But you know what? If you're not willing to wake up, then you're not willing to wake up. And I've been sharing this stuff for 25 years because I knew about it. And everybody called me crazy. So it's not the favorite topic. But look, it's time to join together. The children need our help. If people really knew how many children were abducted every single day, it would make their hearts sink. And I know a lot of people know about it. So let's shift it to a more positive, super exciting, loving thing, because right now there is so much good stuff going on around the planet. Oh my gosh, it is incredible
It
what's
really
coming
is.
down the planet. And we came here for
It's what
this.
we
So do
focus
you have
on.
any questions?
Well, I think that's what we focus on as well. If we can, like what's coming down the line, what the new golden era is going to be like. If you keep that in mind and visualize I'm thinking, am I going to say a word, magic word? But, visualize the future that you desire as
Yes.
much as
And
possible and see the love.
not,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. And feel it.
And feel it.
But don't visualize it in the future. This is the trick of
Yes.
in 3D, time is slowed down. There is no such as time. Think of all those dots as a separate timeline. This is this is us in our highest form, unlimited, no disease, don't need money, no hunger, nothing. These are all the other timeline possibilities. Everything exists right now. Anything you can think of, it's already here now. But the trap of 3D is you're taught to go, well, I hope that someday. Now I see all these people when we talk about things being exposed and healing of the planet, these people go, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
That's the 100% opposite way to program your subconscious. That means you're never going to see it because you don't believe it. Now, there's a chance you might still get to see it because enough other people are holding the frequency. And if one person is holding the frequency of love and compassion and knowing that they're 100% unlimited, most people do not play with the word unlimited. They
We've
don't.
got a community here in near us, Lyndhurst in the New Forest. And once a month we have a Zoom call where we go through this whole visualization that we've created of what our community is going to be, but it is. And then it's blank for about 5-10 minutes where we can go in and even make it more than that. It's everything. The crystal healing rooms, the doggy sanctuary, animal sanctuaries, birthing, end of life, everything, everyone working in community, sharing what we've got. Oh, it's just wonderful.
Oh, you're my kind of people. I just created a new group yesterday called the Next Level Think Tank. And I'm gonna limit it to 20 people because I've been doing groups for years, taking people through the process. But now this is going to be a group where we meet. We have calls once a week. They're recorded. Everybody gets the book and the tracking sheet and the PowerPoint trainings, but that's just the starting point. So all these 20 people that show up and claim the spots, 4 spots were claimed yesterday. As of today, there's 16 spots open, and I'll share a link with you if anybody is interested in being part of this. There is going to be a small investment, but there's a reason for that. And it's because I have free groups and private groups on Facebook, and there's so many distractions, and people just don't show up if they're not invested a little bit.
And it's valued then. It's valued what you gain from it.
And also everybody's going to get my tools, and they're going to get a free session with me once a month private, aside from everything in the group. And that's $250 right there. So I'm making it a no-brainer for people. And I'm also like, one woman reached out to me today and she goes, you know what, Jeff, I love your posts and I want to do this, but I'm on disability. And I'm like, and I'm like, I just got on a call with her for free. And I'm like, look, okay, let's break it down. What can we do? How can I assist you so that you could create your own group with people that are on disability or people that have lost, nobody in their area is awake, their whole family's asleep, whatever. There's so many things. As long as you have a phone or a computer, you can create all these things and I'll help you. And she goes, oh my God, thank you. I'm in. So yeah, she enrolled today in the course and she's excited. And I'm here 1,000% for anybody that's willing to show up.
You know,
Wow.
we spent over £300 yesterday to service our car. Do we spend that on ourselves?
I know. It's amazing. I'm not a hero, okay? It's just, I live in Thailand, it's cheap here, and I'm taken care of. I don't chase money anymore because I realize there's still that program that I've almost completely deleted it that goes, I need more to feel safe. And if I just had, 5 million in the bank, no, that's the old program. I wake up every day and I go, every single thing magically showed up for me. Notice how I said showed up for me? I didn't even go, it shows up for me, because that kind of means that
Oh,
some of
yeah.
it has and some of it might still, but I tell myself everything as if it's already happened. This is how you trick and remove the illusion of time from the ego so that the subconscious goes, okay, guys, it already happened. It's as simple as that. And you don't have doubts. And you may have doubts when you first start to use these tools and, reprogram, but then you just go, okay, I felt a doubt. You can feel it immediately. So then you just go, okay, that's my gift right there. That's my signal that I still haven't completely cleared it. But the great news is I just caught it.
Called it, yes.
And you begin to catch things quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, and everything starts to speed up. And the next thing you know, everybody that you're attracting into your reality, your friends and stuff, you're having all these deeper conversations. You're mirroring each other. You're reminding each other. And then you're going, oh my God, I'm surrounded by the most incredible people. And
Oh, I love
Facebook was
this
created.
conversation.
Yeah, and Facebook was created to, track us and manipulate us and hide the truth and everything. And I'm connected with so many incredible people all around the globe that I haven't even met in person yet. But I'm going to start going out to different countries I've been invited to and do 3-day workshops in person where we're breaking bread together and we're connecting in person and we're having fun and we're playing music, but we're going through the tools and we're holding a safe space where anybody can talk about anything. It gives me goosebumps because it's real. It's
Me,
what we're
as
here
you're
to do.
saying it, as you're saying it. Yeah, perfect. Oh my goodness. So you'll come to the New Forest then?
I would love to. I would love to be on your calls too, because I mean, there's nothing better than getting together with like-minded people and mirroring them in a safe space where there's zero judgment. And that way they can go, oh, I don't have to show up. I don't have to prove anything that I'm good enough. I can just learn and be supported and seen in my light and bring my own unique gifts that I have, even if I don't believe that I really have any yet. And these other people go, you just taught me something. Everybody's got their gifts. And when we get together in these groups, it's fabulous. So I don't know how much time we have. It's 6:33 right now. I love it in Thailand. I'm going to ring my bell.
Minutes.
How long?
Another 20. Well, if we can leave it 10 to, because I've got someone I forgot I had someone coming at 1 o'clock, but we can do another talk, Jeff. I'm very happy to do another talk. But
Okay.
yeah, we got another 15 minutes easy yet.
Okay, great. Are there any questions coming in from anybody? Because I can't see anything in Zoom, but does anybody have a question about anything I've shared? Because I can talk all day because I love this stuff, but I'd love to give somebody like
that. Well, I'm having a look for that. Can you answer more about Larry? What's the good bits about Larry?
Okay, so Larry used to be on this shoulder. If you've ever seen cartoons, you have like the devil and the angel. Yeah. So Larry's not bad and the ego's not bad. The ego gets a bad rap. Yes. The ego, was just kind of a protective part. I mean, we used to get attacked by, crocodiles and maybe dinosaurs. I don't even know if they existed. I know that 99% of everything I was told is a lie, but things are being unearthed. But anyway, if we had to live in a cave and we had to go out and hunt for food, we were in survival. So there's nothing wrong with the ego. But when we get programmed with a little tiny belief system, which is actually our prison, do you know that even like the smartest person, their beliefs wouldn't even fit on the head of a pin compared to what's out there in the known an even bigger unknown universe. But people hold on to this belief system and it keeps them stuck in this prison.
Yes.
And this
Honestly,
process
I love
breaks you.
anything that expands my mind, expands my thinking. I am in. I just love it.
Oh man, it's
Warren,
conscious awareness is the only game in town. Expanding our conscious awareness. There's nothing more important than that, than
no.
being loved, but that's a given.
Oh, absolutely. But we've got Warren Jones is watching. Lovely, lovely guy. And he said, love that. How can I assist you? That is divine. So he, just.
Thank you for sharing that. Let me share a couple other pieces of this process so that people can get it. And if you want to get the book, you can go grab it on my website. And it's a game changer. I'm telling you, I'm not just trying to sell you. Again, you can go to my YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening, and there's over 300 hours where I talk about this stuff like I'm doing right now. I don't hold back and go, if you want the real tools, you have to buy the book. No, but if you do get the book and the sheet, it's going to rock your world because it's a step-by-step process. It's so simple. If you just go, okay, I'm going to try and remember what this guy said, and you don't write down the process. And so here's the process. You begin to catch every judgment, every trigger, every less than thought, every fear, every lack thought, anything that doesn't come from love, joy, gratitude, compassion, excitement, my favorite word. And then you stop immediately, if you can. If you're driving down the road, maybe you can't stop, but you learn to come back to it because it's going to come back if you don't clear it. Any wound or any automatic that's not healed is running on a loop, and it's going to come back. So what you do is you stop, you take a breath, and especially if you're triggered, you smile so that it relaxes your body. Because when we have judgments and triggers and we get angry, we're actually stressing our liver and our body and our facial muscles and everything. So we stop and we go, okay, I just had a less than thought or a trigger. We take a breath and we smile. And then we go, what is this trying to show me or teach me about me? It's priceless. Because the majority of people go, you did this to me, they're doing this to me. The problem's out there. That's the illusion.
Yes.
That's the mirror. When you start to go, what is this trying to teach me or show me about me? Your conscious awareness is going to start expanding so quickly because now you're taking responsibility. And one of my favorite mantras that I teach people is, it's a shorter version of what is this trying to show me or teach me about me? It's 5 words. What is the gift here?
Love it.
I don't like this. This is wrong. What is the gift here? If you don't get the gift, it's going to come back again. It's going to come back again because your soul will take as long as it takes to teach you. It's built in. Your ascension is built in. That's the great news. Your ascension is built in. How long it takes and how long you would like to resist comes down to, are you willing to really look at your stuff and be 100% honest and vulnerable? Hey guys, here's a tip, and girls. The most attractive thing to other people is our authenticity.
Yes.
And our vulnerability. It's not, I've got it all together. I've taken all these classes. I know how to recite all the spiritual jargon. That's got a frequency that's sticky. When you go, yeah, I really don't know, I'm feeling, I feel really alone today, or, I'm attempting to clear something. Would you just hold some space for me? That almost makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
Because it's so powerful. So many people, people want to tell them what they think. Sometimes the best thing to do is just sit with somebody and listen. Listening is an art. It's such a gift.
Absolutely. Yes. And there's two of my friends that are traveling around at the minute. They've gone, I think they're in Bali now. And it's all been great, great, great. You know, they've had the most amazing time and da da da. But now she's come to a part where it's not so, and she's really, and even the photo that she posted, you could see her authenticity and her truthful vulnerability. I actually put on the picture, you look, that is a completely authentic and vulnerable look photo.
Yeah.
And she said, thank you, Jackie. Honestly, she was really honest about how she felt, because we just need to be. We're not always right, bright, you know, but that's truthful.
We've got to be willing, and thank you for sharing that. It's a great story. And I know a lot of people that go to Bali because it's fairly close to Thailand. There's some dark energies in Bali as well. There's some really dark stuff going on, but it's all perfect because it's a percolating ground, you know, for stuff to come up. And right now, the entire planet is a percolating ground, as all this stuff that's been hidden that people didn't want to look at is coming into the light, and people are becoming very triggered. Why? Because they're not going, what is this trying to teach me about me? They're going, that's the problem. Trump's the problem. Everything else is the problem. Nope. Nope.
So
and I'm
easy to
sorry.
look outside of ourselves because we've never
yeah.
been taught to look in. I just want to read this because I've got quite a few lovely messages from Warren. It's taken me 54 years to realize I am more than and beginning to start a new conscious awareness. We'll be doing both book and YouTube. Thank you for this inspiration, Jeff. And then it's being our true self and not that of what we expected by others. That's a big thing, what's expected by others, or what we think is expected by others.
Yeah.
To be your higher self. And then Maxine is saying, for a while now, I've looked for a gift in any situation, but I've learned today that I want to apply it all back to me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, one of my mentors was a man named Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yes.
He lived in San Diego. He wrote the 4 Agreements, The Mastery of Love. And, you know, he's a little beautiful man. And I apprenticed with him for like 8 years. In the whole community there, I've been to the pyramids at Teotihuacan 6 times. I've been to Peru, Machu Picchu. But he used to tell stories, kind of like Carlos Castaneda. So he didn't really teach me the process that I teach. But the one thing that I got out of all that time and paying for those $333 a month weekends and everything was I met a lot of great people. But the one thing that I remember that I got out of it was when he told me, Jeff, none of your beliefs are even your own.
Yes. Skills.
And the aha moment, and I went, oh my God, nobody's beliefs are their own, but everybody gets automatically triggered because the ego feels threatened because it's trying to remain in its false sense of control to feel safe. There's no control. There isn't.
No.
And when you can finally see that program running and go, oh my God, if you can finally admit that your belief system is your prison, and I know I can just see people getting triggered. No, I've done a lot of work. My beliefs are I'm an unlimited divine being. Great. I'm talking about those things that may still be running, little pieces of it underneath like, you know, money's still hard or whatever it is. Because I've done a lot of clearing over the last 24 years. But I've still got, we're all running programs. As long as we're in a human body, we're going to be running programs. Yeah. The key is to learn how to reprogram your subconscious. And that's one of my number one passions, that playing music and helping wild jungle doggies and animals and children, saving the children.
Oh, yeah.
644. I love it.
Wonderful thing about Ho'oponopono is it says you are born perfectly. You are perfect. Your memories are imperfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our memories are
really, we've been taught so hard, and for myself in the Catholic Church, you're not good enough and you'll be lucky if you get into heaven on Judgment Day. It's all fear-based bullshit. I call it religion.
Yeah.
L-I-E in the middle. And that's going to trigger a lot of people
No.
because
Oh, well, it will.
they're
Yeah.
invested. I mean, I know lots of people that still go to church every weekend and, they bow down and they pray to the cross and they hope that God's going to throw them a bone. And there's nothing wrong. You are God. And I know that can trigger a lot of people that were taught, you can't say that, that's blasphemy. Of course, that's what they told you, so you'll never realize it. I don't know if Jesus was here or not. I never met him. I understand that wasn't his original name, and I doubt that he was a super handsome white guy. But whatever his name
as well. Television as well. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
how I spell it. It's programming. They don't lie about it. They tell you the following programs. And if you've ever really studied the television, there's 30 frames per second. And they can put subliminal messages in between every one of those frames in text. They did a study where this was going back to the 50s, where at movie theaters, they would buy Coca-Cola or popcorn. Their sales went up like 78%.
Yeah.
And your eye doesn't see it, but your subconscious does. So I hardly watch any movies anymore because Hollywood is just like, it's run by the dark ones. And those people have to sign contracts to become very wealthy. And nowadays, you don't even know. I've seen movies recently where the guy said, I wasn't even in that movie. They can make a clone look exactly like a person. And so this AI stuff is really coming in to play now. And it's been around for a long time. And a lot of people are starting to give their power away to it. There's good uses for it. Like if you were to go, okay, name off all of the common law statutes before our U.S. Constitution was hijacked in 1871, and we've all been living under a hijacked Constitution, living under false, 100% false maritime law. Every judge and every court system in the United States is operating 100% illegally right now. And it's all going to be exposed over the coming months. They have you walk in between these gates where you go into the thing, and then they use spell words on you to state your name, which it's not really you. They want you to state what's on your birth certificate in capital letters. It's deep, but the great news is this is all being exposed. I saw something today where in the U.S., they're stating now that you're no longer going to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle.
Oh, I saw that. I posted it.
Yeah, and that's been coming for a while, but a lot of people are going to go, I'll believe it when I see it, and they're not willing to do the research. And I know it takes research, but pretty soon all this stuff's going to go. The big red pill is coming. I don't know whether it will be the emergency broadcast system, but you're going to see a lot of people have already been arrested and taken out, and all this stuff's going to be exposed. It's not going to be pretty because people are not going to wake up until they realize, first and foremost, what's been done to the children. And
I mean, to be honest, it was Madeleine McCann that woke me up about 8-9 years ago. It was hearing about that. And then on from that, because I didn't want to know, I didn't want to listen before that. And then because of her, and because of one child, when there's 800,000 a year go missing, and we hear about one child that probably wasn't even missing. Gosh.
That's how they've gotten away with it for so long. People don't want to look at it because it's so horrific that people would rather call me a conspiracy theorist. I can present you with facts and proof that it's coming out. It's going to come out. So anyway, let's end this on a positive note. I still have time, but let's keep it real positive because I don't want people to go, oh my God.
No, exactly. I thought I'd had that open. Let me just get that open. It's something that you shared yesterday, and I thought it was so lovely to end on this. If I share the screen.
Okay. And before I go, can I share a link if anybody's interested in checking out the Next Level think tank? Can I post it?
So I'm just going to I'll say this, and then you post the link.
Share it. How would that work?
So this is what you posted yesterday, Jeff. According to the research of Dr.
Oh,
David
okay.
Hawkins, one individual who vibrates the energy of pure love will counterbalance the negativity of 750,000 who do not. In a world gone mad, spiraling with so much noise, fear, and division, the greatest revolution is to stay anchored in love, not passive spiritual bypassing, head in the sand love, but the love that sees darkness, feels compassion for the suffering, and chooses to shine anyway.
Yep.
That was such a beautiful
Beautiful.
post yesterday. Well, I
Well,
love
the great thing is that there's enough people on the planet right now that are awake to override any of the old programming. And this awakening and shift has been prophesied for thousands of years. You know, there's nothing that can stop it. Nothing will stop it. There may be some things that delay it, but we're here, and it's going to be, the celebration is going to be mind blowing. We are going, I already have my clients play with reversing aging.
Oh, love it.
You know, you tell most people that, and they're going to go, you can't do that. There's proof people used to live for thousands of years. Our cells did not used to be hijacked. There is not, in a healthy cell, there was never a message to die previously. That got like inserted into us when our DNA got hijacked. We're going to be able to live as long as we desire. And there will be a time we don't need food or drink. We can have it if we like it. And it's going to be mind blowing. So the only thing I invite people to do.
Sorry. And when you get pain in your body, send love to it. Don't criticize it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Just tune in, because I still get them. You know, I got a couple injuries from a long time ago, and my shoulder's a little bit out of balance. So I feel them, but I tune into it and I smile and I talk to all my cells every single morning while my head's still on the pillow. Because trust me, if you do not consciously and intentionally create your day while your head's still on the pillow, the 50 to 80,000 thoughts are going to start running automatically. I got to get up. I got to put on a pot of coffee. I got to get the kids ready for school. I got to check my email. I got an appointment. All that's going to get done. But most people currently do not consciously and intentionally create their reality. So I have everybody that goes through my course, even if they have to set their alarm and get up a half hour or an hour early, to just sit with their body and love on it. And whatever comes up, and then you're just like, oh my God, everything magically showed up for me every day. The most incredible things just kept showing up. Money, effortless abundance, the most incredible people, relationships, synchronicities. Just my mind was blown every day. My consciousness just kept expanding and expanding, and my DNA just kept becoming activated, and just completely mind-blowing. And I'm telling you, this is available. And it's available right now, not in the future. But you must take back your power and begin to consciously and intentionally program your subconscious to create that reality, because it'll create whatever instructions you give it. It's just that most people are being triggered by the news and all this stuff and anything that challenges their belief system, and they don't realize that, man, they're just lowering their frequency over and over and over, and they're attracting and magnetizing more of what they're projecting. All of your energy returns back to you. It must, because you are the center of your universe. You're God.
The person that's coming is here. Oh, I'm sorry, the dogs are
great.
Okay.
I so appreciate you. I'd love to come back anytime, and I'll send you the link if anybody's interested in the Next Level Think Tank. There's 16 spots left. This is for people that really want to go all in, and I'm happy to get on a call with anybody to explain it, but there's a video. Go meet your friend. Thank you for your time and the invitation. I'm sending you lots of love.
Jeff. I'm so grateful, and we'll talk again. I hope we'll talk again very soon, because this has been brilliant. Thank you. And then if you put in the comments the link that you want to share, that would be great.
Is that on your page now, or it will be when
Inspirations PLG. So if you pop it on there.
Okay, thank you so much. Big love, everybody. Stay excited.
Thank you for everyone that's watched. Yeah, thank you. Loads of love.